Yo, this is Nick D.
I'm Brie K, and this is Kasari.
You already know what it is, man. It's William Cater.
Yo, this is DJ Lost and Found from the Missing Link podcast.
Hey, what up? It's Miss Hero from Pew Army.
This is Stephen the Levite.
Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy YP, a.k.a. Young Paul. You know what I mean? Representing the East Coast, New York, Jersey, stand up.
And you're tuned into the That's Not
Christian Podcast.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode. Yay. I thought we were going to have a sound bite, but I guess not.
Right.
So,
Fire the director.
Okay. All late. The director fell asleep. Welcome.
Let me get some. Let me hook up my.
Right.
There we go.
Welcome to another week of us not knowing what the frick we're doing. But
We don't even have the number anymore. What's the number? You know,
listen, it's been a very long day. This is like, just know this is the newest episode.
okay, this is
later.
Womp, womp, womp.
Welcome to the newest episode of TNC. I am your
That was
host,
not me.
Bree. Oh, okay.
He's in
Are y'all gonna let me introduce this stuff right now?
Right.
You got it. You know what? You got it.
What's going
Show
on?
like 5 times so bad.
But not like when I actually needed this soundbite to be there. It's just like random times. Like
And then it cuts it off, so it's like not even
Right.
lets it echo. It's like
right. But anyway, I am your host, Brie K. I am here with my lovely twin Kasari, and we also have our hosts Ant and Jay Acosta in the building.
woo! Wake it up.
I hope you guys are ready for a good show.
Who else? Or them? Wait.
Both. Oh, and if you're here, don't forget to like this video. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Drop us a comment. Let us know.
Oh my gosh. Okay. You're going to kill it.
Who's
Is
controlling
that you?
That's not me.
It's not?
No. You thought that was me?
Yeah, I thought this whole time it was you. Anyway,
Bruh.
I thought it was you.
That means
Well, it
Jimmy's
was the
working.
ghost? Like, what's going on?
No, I just noticed that it just keeps on playing unless I stop it.
Oh, like a loop.
Oh, this
Yeah,
guy
it's a
doesn't
loop,
even know
correct,
what he's
correct.
doing.
Had it on loop.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No wonder.
All right.
So although that entire time it was just on loop when it did it.
Bruh. No
That's
wonder.
why.
Oh, now you're trying to blame the loop. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Go ahead and cut that off before it keeps going too.
All right.
I did. I cut it off.
Okay. Let's get into the show though. What are we talking about first?
Our first topic is a little bit about censorship. So Jimmy's boy, Mark Jonathan
Jimmy's
Zuckerberg.
boy?
Yeah, that's Jimmy's boy. It's Jimmy's
That's
man.
his
Middle
middle
name
name?
No, it's not. I just made that up.
Oh.
So he decided to I guess come clean in a way regarding Meta, also known as Facebook, and the Biden administration's involvement in censoring, you know, back in the day, COVID-19 and stuff. So he has a letter
No
that
kidding.
he I guess wrote or typed, or somebody typed for him for somebody, and it's and can you guys see this? Actually, you can't tell.
Yes.
It's a little small, but we can see it.
All right, let me try to zoom in here. There we go. Is that better?
No.
It's bigger, but then
That's
it's cut
better.
off.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. All right. Well, I'll just read it.
You can't win. I know.
Yeah. So it says, Chairman Jordan, I appreciate the committee's interest in content moderation on online platforms. As you are aware, Meta has produced thousands of documents as part of your investigation, and made a dozen employees available for transcribed interviews. Further to our cooperation with your investigation, I welcome the opportunity to share what I've taken away from this process. So, first thing he gets into is there's a lot of talk right now about how the US government interacts with companies like Meta. And I want to be clear about our position. Our platforms are for everyone. We're about promoting speech, quote unquote, and helping people connect in a safe and secure way. As part of this, we regularly hear from governments around the world and others with various concerns around public discourse and public safety. In 2021, senior officials from the Biden administration, including the White House, repeatedly pressured our teams for months to censor certain COVID-19 content, including humor and satire. I'll pause there because it sounded like somebody wanted to say something.
No, I was saying, no, you got to be kidding me.
No, we're not kidding you. This is real.
This is real.
Including humor and satire, and expressed a lot of frustration with our teams when we didn't agree. Ultimately, it was our decision whether or not to take content down. And we own our decision, including COVID-19 related changes we made to our enforcement in the wake of this pressure. I believe the government pressure was wrong, and I regret that we were not more outspoken about it. I also think we made some choices that, with the benefit of hindsight and new information, we wouldn't make today. Like I said to our teams at the time, I feel strongly that we should not compromise our content standards due to pressure from any administration in either direction, and we are ready to push back if something like this happens again. I'm not going to continue reading it because you kind of get the gist of it, but Mr. Mark Zuckerberg is now all of a sudden walking back, backpedaling. Everything about Meta and COVID and
It's a little late. It's a little late for that, isn't it?
Mad late. We're like, what, 5 years later? Almost? Where?
Yeah.
Why?
After you deactivated thousands of people's Facebook pages
and Instagram accounts.
Right. That's wild.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
But my thing is, why did he do this now?
Yeah,
That's what I
right.
Why now?
Out of all the the time that he has had. Now, is it because Biden is no longer running in the race and it's kind of all let me just crap on him, kind of like how everybody else has been, even his own party, the Democratic Party, and now it's like, okay, I'm just going to do this? Or is he seeing pressure not from government but from other social media platforms like Rumble, like Kick, like Twitter/X, where it's a little bit of the Wild Wild West out there. And I don't know, could it be that he's seeing users drop his platforms and maybe people not just posting as much and they'd rather post on these other platforms? Because it just seems odd. Especially
Especially what?
Especially
I don't buy that.
What you think it is?
What do you think it is?
I don't know, but I feel like he's like a billionaire?
Yeah.
You bought? Well, see, and that's the thing too. What if he knows that or feels like Trump is gonna win? So he doesn't want him to regulate. I have no idea. I don't know. But I don't think he would just be crapping on Biden just because he's not running anymore. I feel like that's not a good enough reason. I feel like, I don't know.
Well, it's funny because a certain somebody here is hiding from a lot of these places, these social media
Who could it
platforms.
be?
He's ready. He's ready. He's ready for what's coming. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome Jimmy.
Wow, this is good. Somebody's yard.
Oh, you got COVID or something? What's going on? Why you got a mask on?
He was landscaping.
Be in the sun.
Ooh, you there?
The collapse is coming, man. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So you got to be ready.
For sure.
He said LNF. Okay, LNF said I heard a whistleblower was about to come out. He got in front of this story. That actually probably seems like the most
heard
probable
that too,
thing.
but I don't know, man. Years later.
But also,
Like,
it is
someone else is
socially
saying that too.
acceptable and Mike Wyckoff, which I want to shout out Mike Wyckoff because he is from the church I went to in Hawaii when I was in college. That's how I met him.
Oh, wow.
And he's tuning into our show. So
Nice.
aloha.
Woo.
Aloha nui loa.
Aloha
Difference
from
between, he
Hawaii.
said, difference
Wow,
between a
my bad.
conspiracy and a fact is time. He is just getting ahead of the whistleblower, which is what LNF said also. But I was kind of saying is that I think that it is though now socially acceptable to like crap on Joe Biden, whereas like before you weren't supposed to say anything against that administration.
Yeah,
You're not black.
Yeah,
but
I just feel like I'm not buying the whole "we were pressured" thing.
nah, I don't think they
Like, if that's my platform, you can't pressure me to do nothing.
I mean, I
You
guess they
probably
can,
couldn't.
right? How many times they had that man in Senate?
cool.
Joe
Zuck?
Biden?
Zuck. No, Zuck.
Oh,
Zuck.
yeah, no, Zuck has been up there plenty of times. You know,
And he's
I mean,
gotten away
but
plenty of times.
I don't necessarily think there was like pressure in a sense. I think he was probably like, yeah, we should do this, you know,
he
type of
probably
thing.
just went along
Like,
with it.
Yeah, went along with it.
Or maybe whoever was paying him,
Right.
Ooh,
that
you think he got
source
paid
dried
for it?
up.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
He was not doing that for free.
Right,
There was
at all.
something. He was, if it
Bruh.
wasn't money, there was something that he
blackmail.
I
was
was
paying.
just saying, how do you
Yeah.
bribe a billionaire? Like, what do you bribe a billionaire with?
You got
Blackmail.
yeah.
dirt.
I feel like blackmail low key makes the world go around. So
Oh,
maybe
maybe,
something
oh,
like
maybe in that
I don't
sense,
know.
yeah. They probably caught him with something.
Harp. He does live on an island.
Ooh, thinking they was threatening.
but that's fairly recent.
What?
Him living on the island.
Oh,
Yeah,
nah, I
that's
don't
fairly
know.
recent.
Again,
I don't know. We just speculating
He-
because
It's
Right.
also interesting, and I didn't read this part. This was towards the end, from what I remember. He said that he is no longer contributing to political campaigns.
he did say that. So,
So
he
that's
contributed
kind of also
before.
weird. Yes, Facebook did contribute before, obviously
So,
A
to the
lot.
Democratic Party. So it's Facebook, Google, well, basically big tech, right? But they always
Yeah.
donate to the Dems.
wow.
Yeah. So
But
do you
I'm not
guys think
surprised. You
he should
surprised?
be in jail, or he should be held responsible somehow?
Bro, if you throw him in jail, you might as well throw all of the media in jail.
I mean, I would think, I don't really know the law like that, but I would think that some people have substantial cases where they could sue him for the money that they lost through the accounts that they lost on Instagram and Facebook. That would be like my
Good
course of
point.
action to take.
Yeah, but there's also the little clause, right? That we're all using these
Right.
platforms, right?
Yeah.
And they can at any point,
Shut
decide
you
to
down.
cut you off.
Hey, this
Yeah.
man right here is a victim of a lot of that, yo.
I know.
Especially during that time.
I know.
For
I
real.
literally tagged him on my story because we went
Uh-huh.
go-karting and like my story views tanked. Like it was like I was like after I
Oh,
tagged him
okay.
and they were like, "Are you sure you
My
want to
bad.
tag him?
Yeah.
He spreads misinformation," like that sort of
Yeah.
stuff. And I was like, "Yeah." And
Yo,
literally
the
after that,
podcast
like, my
couldn't even
story
tag
went
me,
down.
bro. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
I
on
was
the
to say there was
podcast,
times
okay.
there was times we couldn't even find him when we would try to tag him.
Not him
Yeah.
being shadow banned.
Yeah, it wasn't even shadow, it was straight banned.
Yeah.
Demon. It was straight demon.
Like,
Yeah.
it was
It also reminded me of when Elon bought Twitter. He released the Twitter files, and in those Twitter files, they found that anybody who would mention like Trump or anything like that, like their tweets would get suppressed immensely. But if you talked about Biden like in a positive light or whatever, then your tweets would be
Boosted.
amplified, boosted, or like just get shown, to a lot of people. And then
Crazy.
I remember you had like Shapiro, and a lot of the other right conservative shows or whatever saying, listen, like our posts are not really, getting out there like they used to, so what's going on? But Zuck would always deny, no, there's nothing wrong. It's just your audience, the algorithm, they don't want to see it, blah, 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 So it's interesting, Mr. Zuckerberg. A lot of people were saying that he was going to come out and endorse Trump.
Nah, you think so? I don't know. I don't see that happening.
I don't
Yeah.
either. But
Well, he said he doesn't want to back anybody. So how you go from not backing anybody?
Well, financially, right? Financially.
Yeah, I don't know, bro.
He's gonna back whoever he's told to
To back.
back. Go ahead and Google Facebook and DARPA, and you're gonna see that he was recruited when he was 16 years old.
You see, now this is
You know
how
what I
he
mean?
got shadow banned.
Yo, but I'm spitting facts though. I'm spitting facts though. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Prepare to be
so
shadow
DARPA is DARPA is
So
what
all-
created Siri, right? Is that
so
DARPA?
yeah, and Google, you know Google Maps.
That was created by DARPA.
That was all. Where you think the satellite images came from, dog? You think Google has satellites before before all that?
No.
I don't know. This guy's getting deep.
It was
Hey,
the,
listen,
it was the
listen, the only reason
astronaut.
the only reason why he's doing all this, you know what I mean, is for his handlers, you know what I mean, so that there's plausible deniability. You know, he already said, you know, look, this is what happened. I'm sorry. End of story. Let's move on.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, he didn't say nothing we didn't know already, right?
Right.
Oh, I was saying,
Seriously.
I was like,
Like,
who's
we've been
surprised?
news. Look.
Like, did he drop a name? Did he say specifically who sent him the email? Who hit him on the on the jack? Like, hey man, we're gonna need you to go ahead and boost these posts. You know what I'm saying? They all listen, man. They all on the payroll, dog. Look at all the celebrities that are coming out for Trump now. Everybody who was talking smack about Trump, you know what I mean? Like talking grimy. You know what I'm saying? Like what's that that dude from New York, that white boy?
Who?
You know what I'm talking about? He was in
Rappaport.
Rappaport, Snoop Dogg,
yeah.
all them cats. You know what I'm saying? They was talking mad greasy. Yo, Snoop even shot. He even shot Trump in one of his videos, and now he talking about
that's right.
Now he voting for Trump.
He said that.
Right. They going for whomever they told to. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's facts, boy. That's facts. I'll give you applause for that.
Jimmy's definitely back.
Yes, he is. Hey, if you haven't already, give a thumbs up. Being back. Subscribe. It doesn't work, right? Remember we used to get the little bubble?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what happened?
I don't know.
Shadow ban. I'm just kidding.
You know what I mean?
Let the banning
Get
begin.
away. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So that's that. We'll see. We'll see how Meta and all these other platforms decide to handle this upcoming election, whichever way it goes. Right.
Have you seen a change in your algorithm, like with this election cycle?
I haven't even been paying attention, bro.
Honestly, I've been on Twitter a lot more than I have been on Instagram, and I definitely don't use Facebook like that. But I feel like Twitter is definitely more conservative.
Yeah.
Twitter is definitely more conservative.
I feel like it is. Yeah.
At least from what I've seen.
Like I purposely like have to go out of my way and like figure out like who could be a Dem. Like even last week we talked about Don Lemon, right?
Yeah.
And like I went on his tweets and I literally started favoriting, right? Because I don't want
You want to see more stuff.
side. Yeah, like more on that side of things. And I mean now it's a little bit like
favoriting Don
showing me
Lemon
more. Say again.
You favoriting Don Lemon post?
Yes, because we were talking about it.
Right.
You know, I don't know where you're trying to go with this, but
nah, you know what I'm trying to
reason. Nah, I don't know.
Feed is about to
we don't need another episode of last week, okay?
Nah, your feed is gonna be crazy.
Yeah, I was wilding. I couldn't clip nothing.
Everybody should go check it out if you haven't.
Last week was ridiculous. Please,
we should make that members only. We should make that episode members only.
Right, exactly. Lock it up.
I was like, man, I hope
Put a
no
paywall.
network sees this.
Yeah. Kyle says he's afraid of liberals. He won't publicly endorse Trump. LNF says, I'm gonna need a voice changer and VPN.
Yeah.
Chill, Jay. They're gonna start sending you lady boy pics. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. What is going on?
Sweat is crazy. Yeah. Next topic, please.
Who are you talking to? You the topics guy. Like you're...
Yo.
We got Yeah, go ahead.
So speaking of crazy, Cam Newton.
Oh yeah, your boy.
That's crazy.
So did you guys watch the clip or
I did.
of the
Yeah.
interview?
I did. Would you like me to play it for the?
Oh,
It's
you
like,
have
you guys seen it?
What? You got it?
Yeah, I mean the clip that
Nah, it's like 8 minutes long though, right?
Yeah.
it'll
No,
be.
I mean, I say if you
We got
got it,
time.
play like a minute or something.
Nah,
Sorry, like we got time.
8 minutes is crazy.
Nah, it'll be 4 minutes now. Hold on.
I was gonna say I played it on 2 times speed, so
Exactly. Exactly.
That's wild.
Tell him. Okay, here we go.
Wait,
all right,
bro. This dude looks crazy.
I was gonna say before it comes up, what is on top of his head?
That's his hair. His hair is coming through his hat.
Why?
I don't know. He cuts a hole in his hat.
That's what that Busta Rhymes used to do. That remember?
Yeah.
Back in
I
the
would
day.
not with a hat
I
like
don't
that.
remember.
Not with a hat
Like fall, like Halloween came early.
He's Pilgrim.
He's
like
like
he looked like
who was roasting him in the chat? Somebody was roasting him in the chat.
That was them
Iron.
She said Salem witch trial looking boy.
Yeah, that's what, that was Iron.
He does.
He's going crazy.
He needs that broom.
All right, I'll play and then just let me know when you want to interrupt and say something.
All right.
People see my situation.
All
I
right,
think
okay.
that I'm not high function.
What situation?
See my situation. That's a very vague question, and it's for you.
What
to
situation are you referring to that they're looking at and thinking is not high function?
Just my life.
Your life entirely, or your life in
My life.
See, don't deflect. Let's stay here. Your life entirely, or your life in
man wearing
relationships?
leggings.
Both really.
And they think that you're low functioning.
No, I don't.
Wow.
You just said people see your life and think you're not high functioning. Opposite of that would be low.
No. Okay, so here you go. You're trying to take my intentions away from this. Can I correct it,
Yeah, go
or can I give you more?
Yes, more information. Yeah.
So I'm not married, right? I have beautiful children.
How many?
8.
Yeah.
I didn't do my research. That was 4, but 8. Okay.
No, baby.
Cool.
It's
By how many women?
3. And this is the kicker. I want more. Now,
By multiple women. What's the
I
intention
just want
by
God
your
to bring
wife?
them. I just want God to bring them.
Oh, okay. And you have so you just
Because my point is this: my desire to get married is lower than my fear of divorce. So
He
as
thought
you
it
would
was
say
deep
it,
right
you said-
there.
I didn't say it. I would
Pause.
agree. I'm just taking my time.
You're not taking your time.
I am though.
You're being very action based. You're not taking your time. You're being very action based.
I'm taking my
You're
time.
being very action based. You have 8 kids with 3 different women.
Yes.
You are creating, procreating, and multiplying. That is not taking your time. You're being very selectively active. Okay, so you're creating. And disclaimer: the kids are innocent. They are beautiful and amazing. Anything I said, nothing to do with them babies. Because I can't wait to be a mom. I love the kids. Period. But you are proactively choosing where you want to be active at and where you want to take your time. You want to take your time in having a wife because of your own fears. But you will, and I say this with all respect and love, what I'm about to say next, okay, Cam? But you will selfishly create broken families, even if you're in their life and you're a proactive father, and I believe you're an amazing dad. I can only imagine with just your presence and knowing you thus far. But these families are still broken. Every child cannot have Papa in the house with them. So some child, if not all will end up with some kind of deficit without daddy being there. Now, you chose to do that. I'm not saying you sat there and woke up one morning and said, I want to be selfish today, so I'm going to go make a baby. Not saying that at all. But those are selfish acts at the expense of your fear. So at what point do you feel the fear? Do it anyways. And yeah, that is a low functioning behavior. To say that I am going to create these homes.
She loves that
Let me go
term.
better. I'm going to build these houses and put kids and these beautiful women and kids in them, but I ain't going to create a home in them. I'm going to wait till I dissipate my fear to find a wife where I'm still going to be fearful with, because there's no such thing as not having some type of nerve or some type of feeling behind marrying somebody who you're spending your life with. And then I'm going to build a home with her while all these other beautiful babies have houses. That's completely unfair and it's selfish.
Just everyone like yourself.
Yeah, almost. That's completely unfair and that's selfish. And so, yes, you're taking your time in this department, but you're not taking your time in this department, which means you're compartmentalizing. And compartmentalizing never works. Compartmentalizing hurts everybody involved. Everybody who's in this box and that box and this box and that box and this box. And then here you go over here trying to figure out what box you're going to feed or entertain or do. Then you're looking outside to figure out who's your next victim to put in the box. It's unhealthy. And it's a huge dysfunction within our Black community that I truly believe personally, statistically, mental health wise, and community wise, that Black men will stop.
Black men will what?
Stop doing that. That they would stop that dysfunctional behavior of compartmentalizing and creating houses, not homes, and then finally a home with a wife. And then you have all these other houses that are homeless. But you over here at some point when you do get a wife, if you do, I'm saying that's what you want, you will get whatever you want. You're trying to create a home. Totally dysfunctional and extremely, that's the epitome of selfish. Epitome of selfish. I'm done, you go
Okay,
first.
so let's. All right. So, what identifies as a broken home?
What you have going on with these, whoever you're not in the house with, is a broken home. It's called a blended family.
You.
It's called a blended family.
She said, "Look in the mirror."
That the
Right.
family is blended. So blended.
So blended means broken.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I don't know about
the
that.
guy that you were entertaining, you would go as low as 26.
What? At?
She said a blended family is a broken home. But go ahead, keep going.
And didn't like
That I
him.
would entertain.
Yes.
Okay.
And as high as what
Triggered.
age?
Whoever man that doesn't have kids.
As high as
Whoever doesn't have kids, whatever age is with no kids.
I just.
No, that's the age. I'm saying I don't have an age range as far as how old if he has no kids.
So your
he's a candidate.
non-negotiable is a person who does not have children.
My non-negotiable is a person with kids. But yes, I get how you're saying it. Yes.
So you cannot date a person. You cannot be with a
I
person.
can, but I'm choosing not to.
So
I can be with anyone, but I'm choosing not to.
you're
I corrected. It's my narrative, Cam.
you're
I
like
can.
jumping in,
I
jumping out. It's either
can. No, it's not. I can't. There's no such thing. I can date whoever I want. I am definitely well equipped to do so.
Okay.
So I'm not going to allow that word to be something that fits where I can't do. I'm well equipped to date anybody.
Yeah.
My preference,
Yes.
because there's nothing wrong with a lot of men who have kids. So I don't want to put that narrative out there.
Yeah.
My personal preference is I would not choose to date a man with kids.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're dating a man with kids. Just a scenario.
Okay, got it. Yes.
You're dating a man with kids.
Yes.
So you've identified that that's a broken home from the jump. With your verbiage of blended family means broken.
I've identified that I'm dating a broken man who is creating who he is, because we can teach what we know, we create who we are. And so broken people create brokenness, whether it's through a child, whether it's through a relationship, whether it's through themselves. It doesn't have to be a beautiful baby, but you're creating brokenness. And broken people can come from married households. I'm not saying that a two-parent household can't create the result of a child who then has brokenness and creates broken blended families everywhere. I'm not negating that. No, I know I'm making that point. But yes,
but my point.
My answer is I not only identified that those homes are houses without a home because he's not in them, but also that he's a broken man.
But you're going to be with a broken man.
No, I won't. I wouldn't be with a man. I wouldn't be with a broken man who has multiple kids. I would take
no, not multiple. I'm
well,
talking
a kid. It
so
doesn't
you're
matter.
not going to date a man with children.
No, but let me clear this up because you said I won't date a broken man. That's not what I said.
No, I said, are you listening to what
I heard you. Let me answer it. Hold on. We all have a level of brokenness. So will I date a broken man? Yes. Am I going to date a certain type of brokenness? No.
Of course you're not.
And that type of brokenness is a man who has kids outside of me isn't something that's conducive for what I want forever.
But will you date him?
No.
So that goes to my point. I'm trying to ask a question. You have two different men right here. One man who has.
I will not date a man with kids.
Okay, that's all I'm asking.
Yes.
But do you understand?
She said that already.
Just off of the statistics. I understand.
Get a little slow.
Like, bruh, she said it like 20 times.
He thought she was gonna backtrack.
He thought he was gonna eat and he didn't.
I know. Thought he ate.
She read him though.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So what was the part of Aunt that you said you didn't agree with what she said about the blended family is a broken family?
She said, she said that's a broken home. Is it a broken home, or did it start as a broken home? Because it can't be currently a broken home. If they're together, how is it broken?
Because you started having kids with someone else. So that's like the broken home she's referring to.
Right, initially, right? But if the child comes up with both parents, is it broken?
Yeah, because she's wanting a one family household, not a multiple
Like
family
both
household.
parents in the same household
Yes.
with the child
Yeah.
or with the children.
I guess. What if the other parent ain't around ever? Like if that
That's what makes
parent
it-
never
That's
grew
what
up.
makes it broken, though,
What?
ain't it?
Huh?
Ain't that what makes it broken?
I mean, I thought it was broken when, like you said, like it's split, right? And then the father's here and the mother's here. But if there's no other parent, right, and it's just is that considered broken? If that child comes up knowing just those two parents, is it broken?
Which two parents?
The stepfather or stepmother and whoever they live with. Like if that child never knew the other person, is it considered broken?
I think by her definition of a broken home, yes. Anything that is not both parents with their children in the same home would be considered a broken home to her, is what I think she's saying.
Right, to
Yeah,
her.
that's what I got.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but because when you say broken, it's almost as if it's a negative term, but is it really negative? Because I mean, broken, obviously, there's a negative connotation to that. But if the child comes up with two parents, is it really broken?
I think that it's possible only because, I mean, you could be the best mom or the best dad in the world, right? Stepdad, stepmom in the world, but that child, if they know, you know what I mean, that there's a biological parent out there, there's going to be some kind of deficit in them. You know what I mean? There's going to be some type of incompleteness, and I think that's where the brokenness stems from. I think that in a blended family, I think that the step parent compensates for the biological parent that isn't there, and is probably like the best mom, best dad in the world. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes even better than the actual biological parent that they're with. You know what I'm saying? But that child will always have some kind of problem.
You're
You know what I
assuming
mean? Or
that.
some kind of question like, why
That's an
isn't?
assumption.
I mean, yeah, completely. And so because everybody processes things differently, but from the people that I know, you know what I'm saying? And obviously, this isn't for doesn't apply to everybody, but most people, they deal with some kind of issue because they don't have that type of relationship. You know what I mean? Like, why doesn't mommy love me? Why doesn't daddy love me? How come they didn't stick around? Was this, you know what I mean? Like, that's very common. You know what I mean? It might not be all cases, but it definitely is some cases. And I think that's where the brokenness comes from.
Okay.
I think it's a little bit of both between what Ann is saying and what you're saying, Jimmy. Because I think if you have a blended family, but the step parent is involved just as much as the actual biological parent is, I don't think that child could possibly have any issues, because the child is still getting both affection, attention,
Sure. Of course.
and all that stuff, right? I think what the lady was really saying is like when it's like Cam, where he has relationship with 3 different women, but he can't be in with them at all times, right?
Right.
His attention and his everything is going to be divided no matter what.
Right.
So there, I can see issues arising with the children.
Sure.
And he wants more.
And he wants more, yes. So like she's saying, he's going to continue on with that pattern and with that broken family.
She said she wants children. Is she kind of up there in age?
She looks like she's up there though.
Yeah, she's like in late 40s, yeah.
I mean, anything is possible.
A geriatric pregnancy, right?
A geriatric pregnancy is anything after 35, technically.
Yeah. She up there.
However, any woman with a menstrual cycle can produce children.
Absolutely,
Yes.
but you run the risk of complications
Losing the
right?
baby. Yeah.
As she's I don't know. Have you seen her? Like she's on Basketball Wives. And she's wild.
That was my first time ever seeing her.
Yeah, me too.
Me too.
Wow, she stayed talking about sex and craziness.
I don't know why I thought she was like a psychiatrist or something.
I don't know what she is.
I thought that's what the tweet said.
Yeah, I think she is.
I thought that's what the tweet said. Psychologist.
So she's like a sex doctor.
Oh, she's a sex doctor. Okay,
no, I don't know. No, I'm asking.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't even know she was a doctor because the way they portray her on the show, they never said what.
She don't act like a doctor.
Nah, she don't act like a doctor. Like she's straight. Like she really like be wilding like in her talk when it comes to sex. Like she's loose, yo.
It says here she's 41 years old.
Yeah, Kyle already had.
Look, he already got all
the details.
He did all the math.
And on the show, she's single.
LNF says Cam bugging. Bro got 8 kids by several women. He can't be available to each of them.
Yeah, that's what Jay was saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's crazy. Didn't one of y'all say who showed Cam's girl? Was that was that Cam's girl?
Like currently?
Oh, Jasmine, yeah. That's
Yeah,
he just had a baby with her in March.
Oh, so he had a baby with her too?
No, not the one he was interviewing with.
No, I know with Jasmine.
Oh,
right?
yeah, Jasmine.
That was the 8th one? That was his 8th kid?
I guess.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
This is the third chick. He's like he has a kid with.
She started off on Instagram. No wonder she packing his clothes and lunches or whatever she said she was doing.
That was weird.
Yeah, she was like she does everything.
If you're doing all that and he still don't want to marry you.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, she was doing
everything. You trying to find your wife.
Yeah, that's
clipping his toenails, making sandwiches.
He's not gonna let his girlfriend get in the way of him finding his wife.
Right.
Crazy. Yeah, she was talking crazy. You're like, dang, are you still not married?
I'm clipping that.
But yeah, wow, I didn't know that they were together. That's crazy. Okay,
he don't know that either.
No shit. Well, yeah, I mean, I seen that same doctor. I don't know if y'all watched the clip when she was doing the same thing to Nick Cannon, right? Telling him how she.
The one you sent, I started watching it. Yeah. And both of them were acting the same, Nick Cannon and Cam Newton. I feel like both of them were acting weird.
I think Nick was, they were, but I think Nick took it better than Cam did. He wasn't as defensive as Cam was.
She's like the Kevin Samuels for females, right?
Oh, she is.
Is it? Well, I guess.
I mean, she's serving these dudes like that.
Yeah. But
I see.
Celebrity dudes, yeah.
She's not demeaning them though, is she?
Low functioning. Well, low functioning.
Yo, so she got a master's degree in marriage, family, and child therapy, which is wild to me because you giving marriage advice and you're not
You're not
married.
married. Yeah, that's crazy. I'm not taking.
I mean, well, here's my pushback to that though.
Nah,
I'm not giving advice to married people that are not married. However, the Apostle Paul did.
Okay.
Yeah, but he had Jesus though.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
he had a different teacher. His teacher was a little, yeah.
He walked with you know what I mean with the disciples. You know what I'm saying? Like,
bro,
kind of.
Like I'm not taking money advice from someone broke.
You know what I mean? I'm not eating a plate from a skinny cook, man.
They can
Bro,
tell you
yeah,
what
not
not
even
to
taking
do.
money advice from the people that are rich.
Bro, because we ain't getting money. You giving us advice?
Hey, first of all, I didn't say I was rich. You know, I'd be throwing in that Dave Ramsey in there. You know, like, yo, shut that man up.
Nah, we ain't. Yeah, we definitely not taking it from Dave Ramsey. Pause.
Hey, yo.
But yeah, nah, man. I don't know. She can. I mean, I could take her advice.
I mean, what if the advice is actually really good?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, I didn't think about that. Is it? But
what
was
if
it?
what she's saying? She didn't say anything that wasn't true to him
Right.
as far as his
Right.
behavior. She was pretty spot on with that.
She didn't give any advice. She just told him about himself.
Right.
Yeah, she did.
She was just a mirror.
Yeah. So now what? Now what? I didn't see the rest of the interview. Maybe she did give him advice and tell him what to do after that. Maybe she told him, "Why don't you go marry Jasmine?" They probably clipped that part.
That's crazy.
I don't know.
Why don't you take that thing off your head
first and foremost?
That song Chris Rock used to have. Take off that silly hat.
Yo, son, she charges $350 for virtual life coaching. FaceTime or Zoom.
Nah, bro.
Telephone life coaching is $350. Office life coaching is $750, son.
See her in person? Nah,
Yeah.
bro. To give me advice from a single woman, I'm a pass, bro. I mean, as far as relationships, excuse me, not because she's a female. I would do the same if it was a single dude. Like, nah, man. Look at LNF. $350 is cheap for a Zoom call, bro. Nah.
Right.
Schedule a Zoom call with me. I'll give you my advice for $250.
Oh, there you go. See? And in person,
TNT marriage counseling coming soon.
$650 in person, but you got to pay for your own flight.
That's wild, man.
Oh boy, look, why?
Right.
Don't she wear a more modest dress?
Bro, is she Christian?
Right.
I mean, I kind of agree with him, but yeah, she's not Christian. I feel like, Kyle, that's a fair point.
Especially if she's over here talking about craziness.
She make enough money to buy the whole dress, bro.
Right.
I mean, you're not wrong there. You're not wrong there.
I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, what's her name again? I forgot.
Cheyenne Bryant, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant.
Cheyenne Bryant, yes. Yeah.
So if y'all were sitting across from Cam Newton, what would you tell him? And he's telling you he got and he's
I would have said
he's telling you he got 8 kids by 3 women and he wants more and he wants God to bring them to him, which was weird too.
That was weird.
Nah, like, bro, God ain't bringing them to you. Bro.
Especially the way he said it. He's like, in God to bring him to you know what I mean?
Like, that was weird.
Crazy.
Drugs.
Man, weird, bro.
Yeah.
So what would y'all say? That's it.
Jay, tell him he's an idiot and take off that hat while you at it.
Right.
You gonna tell
He
him
got wicks? Is that what he got?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. And then he just come out of
Yeah, I'm with LNF.
What?
He said I would ask Cam. Yeah, I would ask Cam to take my 2. You know what I mean?
Oh,
why?
Go ahead and sponsor. Send that back, dog. You know what I mean?
Sponsor. Nah, bro. Yeah.
Take money from what did she call him? He got a little tight.
Low functioning?
Nah, that's that.
And that really triggered. That really
I don't know.
low
Fans don't like that
functioning.
word.
You know,
He
that's
didn't
her term.
call
Nah,
him
she
low-
uses
she didn't
that.
call him low functioning. She just said like the decisions that you're making is low
It's no
functioning.
functioning.
Yeah, I mean that's basically
I
saying that he's low
agree.
functioning.
I know. That's like when people be like, I'm not calling
No.
you stupid. I'm just saying you act stupid.
I mean, if the shoe fits, if the hat fits,
Yo, son, that was stupid
hat doesn't fit.
AF. Right?
Yeah, right. You calling me stupid? Nah, what you did is stupid. I mean, I don't know. But yeah, what? So yeah, that's all Jay would tell him. He's an idiot.
Yeah, just
What else
everything
can you
that
tell
she
him?
said.
You can't have a conversation with somebody that's saying that, like, yo, bro, I want to get some more women pregnant. Like, man, this ain't real.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't even be in the same cipher as somebody like that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
like,
Like
what are we
I
talking
don't
about?
like. Yeah, I don't like being around dudes who talk about like smashing women or going out. You know what I mean? Like that's to me, like that's
Like,
I
that's
don't
your
need that.
goal? Like, that's what
Yeah,
we say here talk about? Like, yo, your goal is to get some more chicks pregnant? Like,
yeah.
bro.
Like I got somebody that I know from a previous job. And like I had to check him because of the stuff that he was sending me, man. I'm like, yo, you can't be sending me this. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been married for 20 something years, man. I'm trying to stay married for another 20 something years, man. Don't be sending me this kind of stuff. And it got to the point where I was like, I just ended up blocking dude. You know what I'm saying? I don't need that, man. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't be sitting there with dude and he talking about I need to find another baby mama. You know what I mean? Like I need to have 8 more kids. Like what? Bro, get out of here. I'm good.
What would you
Huh?
tell him, Brike and Kasari?
Yeah, what would you tell him?
I
Yeah.
would say low functioning.
Ah, you got a low functioning hat.
Right.
Super low functioning.
Yeah, I don't know. So that's what you're gonna tell him? Like, yo,
I would probably tell him something similar to what she was telling
Right.
him. Like, you're literally creating all these broken homes. You're giving your kids like a bad start in life.
Mhm.
And like, yeah, and like the thing is, like, I believe in Jesus and I believe that he changes anybody and can satisfy anybody. I believe that God can become your father. Like, like these are things that I believe. However, you will have a rough start and for no reason because you have no self-discipline because
He's
you
a
want to
father
stick
to the fatherless, man.
Yeah. Right.
Right. Amen.
Like, I think he
Sound like he's
cool, man.
breathing
He
on the
can.
mic.
He's using all of the sound effects today.
right.
That was like all of them at once.
we're gonna exhaust the sound effects budget today. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Speaking of exhaustion,
Oh,
Yeah.
straight to it.
Brike and Kasari wanted to talk about this, so they're gonna take it away.
Oh yeah. What's up? What's this about? What's going on?
They're tired of your
We're real passionate about it.
What you got to tell us? What you got to tell the TNC squad?
They got
Nothing.
No.
Let's
Just say low functioning.
You're right. Low fun.
It's a
No,
low
we're just
functioning pod.
Right, real talk though.
Snap.
Low key.
Hey, that's messed up.
Low key though.
Wow. It ain't
Hey.
no key no more.
Going y'all under the
right. It's gonna be a members only pod, huh? Okay.
That's crazy. No, we were just talking about this morning about just like feeling burnt out because we got like so many things to do. You know, I know last week we were talking about how I am like the director of the kids, so sometimes it feels just like a lot. Like I work a full-time job, Monday through Friday, on top of being like over the kids at church, and you know, we have our like music stuff and she has her own, you know, we just have so much stuff sometimes and it feels like that. And again, everybody does. So we were just talking about like, you know, you get to that point sometimes where you just feel like burnt out and you feel like
say it.
the intrusive thoughts come, you know? But like I was like telling her.
What you gonna say? Kids?
Why you got it? Like,
Okay, have you guys seen Lean on Me, the one with Morgan Freeman?
Yeah.
So you know how
Out on the kids?
No.
Oh.
So you know how that part where I forgot his name, the one student that was like smoking and stuff, and he basically took him up on the roof and told him to jump,
Yeah.
right? And he's like, "You're killing yourself the slow way. Just do it now." Yeah, the fat kid. So my dad says that sometimes, right? Like, It's not right. I don't mean to throw my dad under the bus, but like we talk a little crazy sometimes, okay?
Sure.
But like I was telling him, this is literally how we cope. So, and like before I said my disclaimer, I had a friend who actually committed suicide. I still joke about suicide sometimes. I still make jokes. So like I'll joke about anything.
Love that dark humor.
Yes. That's how we cope.
Yes.
So one of our friends has called us like several times, like saying that they wanted to kill themselves, like several times, right? And like by the last time, I was like, what are some verses that you could quote over your situation, right? And my dad heard us talking about this, and my dad was like, tell him to go on the roof and jump. Right?
No.
Let's go. I love your dad.
No.
Stop wasting everybody's time, right? So
no.
Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
You don't know those people, right?
Yes.
That like they just
post in when they
want attention, and it's okay.
Don't talk about it, be about it.
You know, I mean, I don't want you to take your life. I really don't.
Right.
But I also don't want you just calling me trying to get sympathy every time because you don't want to hear a verse, or you don't want to, but I don't want to hear that right now. Then what are you calling me for?
Right.
But anyway, but go ahead, Swin. So that's why, that's kind of the inside joke though. That's where it came from.
Yes. So today, this morning, I was just telling Bree how I was feeling like burnt out. And we've all been kind of feeling it, right? And so I was just like, I feel like going off a roof and jumping.
I hope
we were just obviously like jokes and stuff like that. And I was like, and I feel like inviting.
She said to take it so with me. Like, this is how we joke though. This is how we be coping. I'll be like, I'm sleeping on the tracks tonight.
Yes.
Right. I'm gonna go bathe with my toaster. Like these just
That's
joking.
hilarious.
Yes.
Yo, I joke like that too, and I have people hit me in the DM like, yo,
Don't
you
play
good?
like
Yo, right? Like I had Switch hit me up one time. Like, yo, you good? I was like, bro, I was just joking. My bad. I didn't mean to joke like that. Like, but I be joking like that, but I ain't about that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Exactly.
Like I feel like my pastor would not think that's funny. He wouldn't think that's funny.
You think?
He wouldn't think that was funny.
No. We don't say that.
Right.
That's why we keep it in the chat. We don't take it outside.
We're telling it on the pod.
Right. Well, we gotta explain it.
I know.
Before we get safe, you know.
Yes.
No, but yeah, we were just talking about that, making jokes about it and all of our intrusive thoughts or whatever. But obviously, we believe in God. We believe in Jesus Christ. We believe that He's our healer and our protector and our defender and all of that stuff. And obviously, it's like a spiritual battle. And I was just telling her, sometimes it just feels like, sometimes I feel like I don't give myself enough grace because it feels self-inflicted. Like I was telling her, could I be reading the Bible more? Yes. Could I be working out more? Yes. And that's why I don't feel sorry for myself. That's why I don't feel like, oh, I'm being attacked by the enemy, because I'm doing it to myself.
Yeah.
Whereas if I was giving it 100% of working out and reading the Bible and doing all that I can, then it would feel more like, okay, the enemy is trying to attack me spiritually, you know? But I was also telling her, but at the same time, like, the enemy could also play games with you too, no matter where you're at. He'll take any fear, doubt, and unbelief and just mess with your head and stuff like that. So it's just a rough battle sometimes, you know. Who's with me?
Am I alone? Crickets. Right? Anybody? Can I get an amen?
So we were just talking about being burnt out and just like the different things that cause it, and then also like how do you deal with it as a Christian? Like what do you do? You know, obviously we be joking around and stuff, but ultimately though we will quote some verses too.
Yeah, exactly.
But dark humor.
Yes.
But if you're like really burnt out, where you're like, you just feel like, I remember last year this time I felt like I have no time to do anything, and I was like just like really like down about it low key, but had to keep going because I had so much to do. You know, no, seriously. And I remember being like, okay, and nobody cares because everybody's burnt out. But how do you cope with that? And I remember like talking to my mom. My mom's always like, you're trying to do things in your own strength, which I know what that means, but there are other people out there who don't know what that means. So like, my question to everybody is like, what advice would you give to somebody who was trying to do everything in their own strength, who is a Christian, who does have help, but they just don't know how to like tap into it, or they don't know, you know, Like, how are you supposed to operate without just feeling burnt out and stressed out all the time?
You want to go? You want to go?
I would
deep,
say,
Pause?
I would say,
You mean with
because I think a lot of times you say you're burnt out, but I think it's also you just took on too much things to do, if that makes sense, because you don't have to serve every service. You don't have to.
You kind of do, huh?
Well,
Like it did, bro. Like I'm saying,
That day,
I'm saying, look,
that day.
I'm saying you kind of do because it depends what kind of church you go to. Like if you go like the Hillsong, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you don't got to serve every Sunday, but if you go to a smaller community church, like a family church, you're expected to serve. You're expected to be there. You know what I mean? Like people notice
Right.
when you're not at service. You know,
Yes.
like people are relying on you. You know what I mean? So that's why I said you kind of do.
There are people relying on you, but like my dad always says, you ain't got to do nothing you don't want to do.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so it kind of
That's
is.
true.
But I feel like what Jay is saying is valid though. Like,
For sure.
yes, maybe people will, like, there will be people that are let down, and yes, it may reflect poorly on your reliability and things, but you can say no if you want to. But anyway, sorry.
Yeah, you just gotta prepare yourself. Like when you say no, you gotta prepare yourself for people to be talking about you low key on the podcast. You know, when you're in the comments supporting ninjas and cutting videos and all that. You know what I mean? You gotta expect that. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta say no sometimes.
Name names, Jay Delay. Just name names.
but do you consider? But do you consider that being burnt out? I don't think
What
that's being
part?
burnt out.
Which part?
Like like Jimmy was saying, cutting clips and doing all of this and like supporting and being
y'all
in the
get personal.
comments.
Oh,
Right
You
now
know,
we talking
yeah.
about my life. We put my life out
well,
there.
only because
Okay.
you I'm
You
using you
put it
as
out there.
the example.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's where I think the difference lies in that
Mhm.
you are choosing to bring on all these projects and all these things where maybe your attention will be best on just like maybe one or two or three things,
Facts.
and try to do them as much as possible.
Facts.
Yeah, because
But what happened? Well, just a little bit of pushback, just because I'm thinking to my situation last year. What happens if something comes? Well, say you already committed to certain things, and you thought that you were going to have the time, but something comes up where maybe there's somebody in your family that has a health problem, and you got to help them, or maybe there's somebody that one of your friends or something fell on hard times, you got to help them out, and now like what are you
like
supposed to do?
everything all at once type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still don't consider that being burnt out.
All right. What's your definition of being burnt
Yeah.
out?
What would you consider being
Yeah,
burnt out?
elaborate, please. Please.
right.
Come back to me. Let me think about it.
Well,
But
You
how
don't
can
even
you
know.
say?
well, you
Yeah, you don't even
know how to
I'm-
you know how to say no.
Not too much. Hey, not too much on my friend. Not too much on my friend.
That's how I feel when I criticize one of you. Everybody jumps in. I'm like, hold on.
Okay. I say this. I say if you're doing some, if you've been doing something for a while, right, and
Yeah.
you're maybe not seeing the results you were hoping to see, and you just keep going at it and at it, or maybe you are seeing the results that you want to see, but now you no longer have that type of passion to continue doing it, then I feel like that would be like burnt out. It's not so much the amount of things that you have. I wouldn't say I've never been burnt out. I would just say, I don't know. I feel like I'm selective in how long I want to continue things, right? Because I think you can get into the rhythm of and the structure of I got this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and it's everything, all
So
at once.
so just so make sure that I understand what you're saying. Do you mean that like when you say burnt out, that means like that's it, I'm done, I'm not doing this anymore? You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
I'm not going
When you get to that level.
I'm not going to the gym anymore, and I'm not going to try to get a six pack. Forget the gym.
Yeah,
Like
I
that.
think that.
Like
Yeah,
that's burnt
I would
out.
say so.
Not like I feel overwhelmed and there's too much going on and I need to take a break. That's not what you mean. You mean
No.
like I'm done. Se acabó.
Yep. I
Okay.
think that's burnt out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
That's interesting because I actually, before I left the house, I looked at Burnt Out, and WebMD, Biden is burnt out. That's hilarious. WebMD actually like distinguished burnout from stressed out. But first of all, I feel like WebMD is so dramatic. They're like,
It's fake.
everything
Oh,
looks dead.
super dramatic.
You know, whatever.
Everybody
They're like,
cancer from burnt out.
no, right. They're like, count your days, right? So
The roof is coming up.
no, for real.
Right.
Go ahead and go up on the roof right now. So I feel like they were saying that there was like a distinguished, and similar to what Jay is saying, they were saying that burnout kind of tends more to have like tendencies of depression.
Okay,
this is what they're saying, like where like you just don't feel motivated or anything, you know, to do anything more, kind of. Whereas stressed out is like feeling overwhelmed and feeling like, you know, but I don't know.
I felt both.
I don't know.
I felt both.
Yeah. Right.
I do feel like it's a mixture of both. I do feel like I feel like I am right in feeling and in expressing the way that I'm saying I'm burnt out. I do come home and I just go in my bed and I'll lay there until it's time to go to bed because I feel like there's so much. It kind of feels like a depression, but I'm not like over here.
Yeah.
She's not really gonna go up. She's not going up on the roof.
No, I'm not.
Yeah,
Right.
she's really not. She's not there.
Mentally, you're going to the roof.
Mentally, yes, mentally.
Emotionally.
Also, yes, emotionally, all of that stuff, physically, like all that stuff. But again, like I feel like it's a little bit of like physical, mental, emotional, a spiritual battle sometimes. And obviously, a lot of when you're in your word and when you know scriptures, you obviously you know what to reference to. Like just certain scriptures come to mind to sometimes like encourage yourself out of that feeling because sometimes it's just temporary. You know, obviously, emotions are temporary, and so you enter that moment and then you exit. Well, I try to exit quickly, but when it feels like it's been going on for like a couple of weeks, you're just like, okay, I'm feeling like burnt out for sure. It's not just like a like, you know, a couple of days like I just needed a rest. It feels like
it's ongoing.
It's ongoing. Yes.
Yeah.
And
I feel you.
Yeah. And sometimes again, like I feel like it's just a lot of different things. Like as far as like church goes, we do have a smaller church. It's not like this mega church with a bunch of volunteers. Like the Ministry of Helps is like the departments. There's only a little bit of people that like want to actually volunteer. And obviously you want to be yourself. You yourself want to be a good steward and don't want to feel like I'm the only one that's doing all this because it's like, okay,
then what are you doing it for?
Yes, what are you doing it for at this point? But I always like, well, this year I've been referring to like Isaiah 1, and it's like if you are willing and obedient, you will eat the good of the land. So I'm like constantly trying to remind myself, like, why am I doing this? You know, and it's not just it's like my seed being sown. So it's like you're like trying to balance yourself. You don't want to like burn yourself out, but at the same time, like you do want to like continue to sow into the ministry and stuff like that. But that's just
I feel you. I think that it's I don't want to say normal, but maybe common for people to feel that way. We read in the scripture, like you see Elijah and Job kind of went through it, right? And they just would cling on to the Lord, you know what I mean? And there's been times in my life, even recently, where I'm just like calling out to God, you know what I mean? Like, God, like, remind me of the word that's hidden in my heart, you know what I mean? Like, God, I need your joy, I need your peace, you know what I mean? And sometimes it's just discipline because like some days the only Bible I read is what I post on my stories. That's it. You know what I mean? And some days, and for those who follow me, like, you know, like that's my first post of the day. No matter like what time of the day I wake up, that's my first post of the day. Some days, there's been days where I don't even read it. I just screenshot it and post it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just keeping it a buck with y'all because that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's in the discipline of like seeking God. Like that's why I make it a habit to walk daily, because I was telling my brother this the other day, is like some days I don't, you know, I don't open up the Bible and read it. Some days I just listen to my audio Bible, and it's those days when when I go for a walk for like half an hour or an hour, like I listen to the audio Bible, you know what I mean? And that gives me peace before I listen to anything else, you know what I mean? Before I listen to any worship, any CHH, any ratchet music, whatever it is I'm listening to, you know what I mean? Because I have my seasons. Like I'll listen to my proverb of the day, you know what I mean? But it's because it's just in that discipline. Like even if I don't want to do it, like I do it, and I know that's what like is holding me over. You know what I mean? That's what's carrying me through those times because I know I ain't doing it in my own strength. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I feel like going on the roof. You know what I'm saying? It not literally, you know what I mean? But that's where I'm at.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
like I'm feeling like Elijah. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I think it's in that discipline of like just seeking out God, just calling out to Him, and you know, and realizing that you need Him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's really what pushes you forward, and it makes sense of everything else of whatever you're going through. You know what I mean? And a lot like you know, I think it was Jay who was saying so sometimes it's you know, we bring it upon ourselves because we're doing too much. You know what I mean? And sometimes you gotta say no. You know, like not right
Yes.
now. I can't really do this right now. I
Yes.
need to do this, or this is more of a priority. This isn't a priority as much as it was before. Like you need that sometimes. You know what I mean? And so I don't want nobody to feel like you're any less Christian because you feel like that sometimes. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's when you should be seeking out God and remember that word which you know He gave to you. You know what I mean? Like it in your early stages of your walk, or even like you know within your walk, you know, is remember those words. You know what I mean? Yeah. See, God know what's up.
And I think also just like one small thing, well, it might be small to y'all, but not to me. And my twin talk about it sometimes too. I feel like people sometimes, I don't want to say take advantage because that's so extreme, but since we're single, they think like, oh, they don't have kids, they don't have like, you know, as much responsibilities as we do, so they can do more.
right.
Not to say that's anybody's thought in my church. I'm just saying sometimes that's how it feels. Because it's like, oh, can you do this? Oh, can you do this? Oh, can you know what I mean? It's just like, okay, why aren't so and so doing it? Because I've been here the last 4 times in a row. You know what I mean? Like it starts to feel like that. And it's just like we got kids too. Music, we got dreams, aspirations, we got all the things that God has called us to do. Like those also take time and money and priority in our lives. So it's like that part kind of bothers me too. But I again, like you said, you know, I do know how to say no, so I do say it, and she does too. Although sometimes I feel like since I feel like I'm more emotional than Bree, it's like I feel bad for saying no, even though I will say no. I still feel like, oh, I feel so bad. Like I'll be thinking about it for the rest of the day. The fact that I said no, you know, because it's like, dang, like, you know, but at the same time, it's like, well, someone else would do it. Someone will pick up the slack because I've been. And
hey, well, you know what? I want to commend you both of y'all for your faithfulness because you know I peeped in y'all stories recently. Them kids look happy AF. You know what I mean? Like they look like they having a blast. You know what I mean? And I know that those seeds that you're sowing now will bear fruit someday. You know what I mean? Hopefully sooner than later. You know what I mean?
They're so cute, super cute.
They were a little crazy. It was so funny though.
They're out of hand, but you know.
Yo, hey, well, they sound they you should tell them to subscribe because they sound like they would be our kind of audience. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you tell them leave a comment too.
That's funny. But back to your question, can you say it again?
What kind of like advice would you give somebody that was burnt out or stressed out, according to Jay, not burnt out but stressed out? Like what kind of advice would you give them if they were a Christian, a believer? And say it is that they're serving at church, and say it is that everything that they're doing is wholesome, everything that they're doing is like something that is contributing to their calling, their purpose, like that sort of thing. And maybe they have extra responsibilities with family or whatever the case may be, but it's things that are kind of necessary for them to do. Like what kind of advice would you give them? Because I know that everybody gets burnt out and stressed out sometimes.
Yeah.
But how do you deal with it? Like,
what you think, Ant?
way.
Well, I was gonna say you kind of touched on it, right? Because I mean, everybody goes through it, right? You know, I mean, obviously, you kind of want to, you know, you're not gonna always feel like you're gonna get in your word, right? Like you said, Kyle. But knowing that you have that in the back of your mind, right? Knowing that you have specific verses that can kind of, everybody has a verse or two that they keep right to heart, that they always go back to during those certain times, right? I mean, even when I get stressed, I have my own. I'm sure they're different from yours, right? Because I mean, our situations are different. So I think for depending on the situation and who you are, I mean, you kind of got to evaluate it and see what works for you. Like for me, if I get stressed and overwhelmed, sometimes I have to take a step back. Like I can't, you know what I'm saying? Because I think you kind of get overwhelmed when you look at everything at a whole at one time, right? And I think when you start seeing things like I got to do this, and this, and I got to have it done by X, Y, and Z, right? And you start looking at it like that in like totality, you got to take a step back, right? And then kind of realize that, you know, try to focus at a certain thing one at a time. Because if you're looking at everything, it does get overwhelming, and you gotta have the like the presence of mind to realize I need to focus on one thing, take a step back, and then do it that way. And a lot of times, taking that step back is not focusing on a particular task, but taking that step back is focusing on the Lord, right? And then that word, so that you can take that breath, have that moment, regroup, and then try to realize how you're going to approach it. But you know, sometimes people just get so sucked in and overwhelmed on those tasks that it's hard to climb out of, and then that's when you get into that depression. That's when you get into that stress, and you get into all of that because you're really not focusing on yourself, right, and what you need, but you're focusing on what's in front of you, and you get caught up on that. And sometimes you gotta really think, right, and just gather yourself, because once you get stuck in that, it's like a cyclone, right? You just get stuck in it and you can't get out of it. So you just got to really just kind of take that step back and really focus on what's important. And I think that's really focusing on the Lord first, right? And get that time alone to just get out of that mindset, because you get sucked in.
Yeah. That's I mean, I think that's good. It's definitely plugging in with the Lord. And also with other believers too, man, because you don't know how blessed I've been with, you know, with just being around, you know, these dudes, and you guys too, with, you know, just everyone involved with the podcast. Because there's some days, like, you know, where I struggled, and like someone will share something, and it'll just motivate me. You know what I mean? Like I might be going through some, and it could be anything. You know what I mean? Voss is another brother too who really pours into me. You know. So getting around other believers who can motivate you, even like, you know, like I got people who share stuff with, you know, with me too on Instagram, people I never met before, you know, but because like they've been blessed by something, you know, I've said or I shared, you know, on Instagram or something, or you know, a funny meme or whatever. Like people send me stuff, and sometimes that's encouraging, you know. Another thing that Ant said is, like, you know, he said take a step back and focus on the one thing is sometimes, you know, when you look at the big picture, like I got to climb this mountain, you know, and really just focusing on taking that first step. You know what I mean? They say that the what is it, a journey of a thousand miles starts with that one step. You know what I mean? And I think setting micro goals to those things that may seem like, you know, they're mountains that are stressing you out, that are causing you to burn out. Sometimes creating those micro goals are helpful and less overwhelming. You know what I mean? And then when you conquer and you have those small victories, it's easier to kind of build some momentum around that as well. You know what I mean? So you're not so stressed out about everything.
But you could, like, you two have each other, right? Which is, I mean, I know, which is great, right? Because I know you guys talk to each other when things like that happen. And I know Jimmy, like you said, being able to have someone, right, to have other believers and things like that. I mean, that's cool, right? I honestly, I don't like, if I'm stressed, I don't go tell these dudes. I mean, unless it's something like crazy. Most of the times, if I tell them something, it ain't nothing that I'm really too stressed about. Like, cause sometimes I may find a joke within that issue, right, and then share it with them. But like, I could have like the like not really something really stressful situation. I tend to not, because I don't, and this is me, I don't feel like I want to place my burden on someone else.
Exactly. Right? Yes.
So I don't do that. So
right.
And I don't know if that's the issue. Maybe that's something I need to work on or not. But that's just in my mind. I don't like doing that at all. So like a lot of things that are really that type of, like when you're saying feeling burnt out, I just most of the times I just keep that to myself.
Internalize that.
Yeah.
No, that's fact. Proverbs 27:10, better is a neighbor nearby than a brother far away. You know what I mean? Like, why am I gonna stress y'all out about something? You know what I mean?
Right. I definitely feel that. I mean, we're close and we do talk about a lot of things, but sometimes we do. I feel like sometimes we be like, I don't want to bother you with that.
you know, for real. I feel like by the time we tell each other, sometimes
I'm a pro at
like,
that.
Yeah.
I feel like for her and I, like, although we do have each other, and I feel like she could tell me anything, and vice versa, but still sometimes I feel like we act like dudes. Like it takes us like a month to finally be like, okay, I've been feeling stressed out for the past, or I haven't slept in you know what I mean? Like 2 months. It's been like 2 months I haven't really got a good night's sleep. and haven't, like, you haven't told me this whole time. Like so sometimes it does take us a while, but go ahead, Twin. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, I think that like yeah, that's really good advice, just to like tell them to chill pill, like take a break, relax, breathe, stretch, shake, let it go. But I do think about scripture, and I feel like that's the best thing that, to me as a believer, I feel like that's the best thing that you can give to a believer, a fellow believer. Well, for me, even a non-believer. But James 1:2 comes to mind when I'm going through something, I feel like, and it's considered pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of any kind, know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its course so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. Not lacking anything. Like not lacking anything. So that part is exciting to me. And I feel like when you read the scripture, sometimes you just like tend to cut it off sometimes. It's like, no, keep going, read the rest of it, you know? And I was even thinking about like, yea, do I walk through the valley of the shadow of death? Sometimes it feels like we just stop reading it there.
Right.
For you are with me, your rod and your staff, they comfort me. I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. They comfort me. You know, the Holy Spirit is there to comfort me. So, yeah, but you go ahead, Twin. You haven't spoke about what you would give advice.
Oh, y'all.
She's just asking the questions. She's just asking the questions, right? Yeah.
I was over here like, oh yeah, that was good. Y'all said it all low key, but I mean, I would encourage people to first of all seek God, because I mean, I know that sounds like so basic, and a lot of people don't hear that, but that's what you need to do, though. Like I feel like I was thinking about it today, and I'm like, my answer to everything is like, you need to read the Bible, you need to pray, and like I feel like people are like, okay, but what else, you know, what? And it's like, no, start there though. Like get consistent, you know, with reading your Bible and praying, because it will strengthen you. Like just even thinking of the verse, be anxious about nothing, but in everything with supplication and thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God, and the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your heart and your mind in Christ Jesus. So like, let that peace, like, you over here trying to juggle everything, and you ain't came to God with supplication, which is fervent praying, and thanksgiving, and you're wondering why you don't feel no peace. Right. You know, like we're grateful for
that part.
Thankful for
Yeah. Gratitude is big.
Yes, it is. It is.
Right. Or even today, I was thinking about Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, which is, you know, almost every Christian knows this verse, but trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all of your ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. Like, I know so many people that are always praying to God for direction, and I'm one of them.
Me too.
And it's like, first of all, girl, trust him. Lean not on your own understanding.
Right.
In all of your ways, acknowledge him. He'll give you that direction. Like, literally, the Bible tells you what to do. Like, you know, so that's why I'm always like, you gotta say in your word, which I'm speaking to myself, because there are times too when I get like lazy and I don't want to, but I mean, what else am I gonna do? And then sit here and wonder why I'm burnt out and stressed out. And it's like, girl,
Right.
when's the last time you actually like spent like real time with God, like
Yeah.
by yourself,
Yeah.
you know? And
Yeah,
take the time
yeah.
to like think and
Like
things
real
that
time.
has brought you through.
Right.
Yeah, like real time, you know?
Not
So
like, God, I hope I get this job or I hope I get this bag. Like real time, like just thank you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Right. For waking me up today. Thank you for that grace
Facts.
and mercy. Thank you for
Facts.
breath in my lungs. Thank you that I didn't wake up in a hospital bed.
right.
Mhm.
I'm mobile. I can brush my hair. I can,
Right.
do these things by myself.
Yeah.
I am able to drive. Thank you for transportation. Thank you for funds for gas
Mm.
that people are all complaining about. Like, thank you for the things that people are complaining about that we have funds to be able to get.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Preach.
I would say that sometimes we need to remember that Jesus understands us.
That
Right.
too.
Yeah.
I don't think you have ever found in the Bible of Jesus expecting like for you to do things like out of the ordinary that's not through him.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's never going to be, with us. So I think, especially when it comes to like, ministry and everything, right? It's funny because I think a lot of people feel this way within ministry, right? Because you kind of have like this mentality when it comes to church that you should always be doing more, right? There's souls out there to save, but we kind of forget like we're not the ones that save them.
Right. Yes.
Jesus is the one that saves, right?
Yeah.
And if I can't serve, at a 11:30 kids ministry service, somebody else is gonna have to do it, and Jesus is still powerful enough to be able to speak to those to these kids, right? And I'm using that as the example. I know you already clarified that it's not so much the kids ministry or whatever.
Yeah.
For the audience that's listening. And so I think we need to like take a deep breath and like Jesus understands us, like that's it.
Yeah. Right. For sure.
Yeah.
That was good.
All right.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I didn't know what y'all was going to talk about. To be honest with y'all, I like this topic though.
Good. Now the ladies will read the Bible verse of the day.
Guy got heavy.
Okay. Word of the day. Are you gonna put it on the screen? I mean, I see in the comments, but is he gonna put it on the screen?
Bro, you slacking, bro.
You put it on the screen or what? No,
You sound like pastor right now.
For real. Okay. So our verse of the day is Isaiah 40:31. But they who wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint.
Amen.
Ooh.
For real.
Awesome. We appreciate everybody watching, listening. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and leave us a comment.
Don't get
let us
burnt
know.
out.
Yeah, don't get burnt out, and leave the advice that you would have for somebody who feels stressed out.
Yeah.
That way,
or your favorite verse too.
Yeah.
And your favorite verse when you're burnt out, when you're in that situation.
That's
what verse
right,
do you
right.
reflect on?
Yeah.
Look at us being Christian for once.
Right.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think it.
Christian.
Yeah.
Total opposite of last week.
Right.
Yeah. I think it'll be.
You had to bring it back, man. You had to bring it back. Yeah, I was backsliding. That's why I had to come back on the show, man.
Regulate.
Reprobate over here.
Right.
So leave it in the comments. I think it would be definitely motivational and increase our faith to see what other people have to say about this subject. So make sure you do that. Share this episode with a friend, and we'll see you on the next episode of the That's Not Christian podcast. Peace.
Bye.
Yo, we started.